work. This looks so fun too. Fuck, I'm gonna get kicked out. I'm gonna get kicked out. But like, I think they flipped though. Oh, I felt like they were like transitional. I don't know. I feel like I look like a Muppet. I think the nose. That's so good. Actually, yeah, I do love these. I kind of like that they're not so basic. These are like little alien baby sunglasses. Okay, I'm gonna get ready for bed. What I really wanted to do was talk a little bit of restaurant drama. I went to 3 restaurants tonight. 2 were subpar. One I actually just left. I was like, don't even see me. I don't want to be here. And the other one actually was really nice. They were great. Vent here a little bit about issues I have with some restaurants, not all. I usually actually go to the same restaurants. So I usually have a wonderful experience there with incredible staff. And I just feel like the restaurants that I usually go to are structured in such a way that they really value a customer. And I worked as a server for a few years, and I loved it. I loved like making sure people had the best day possible. I would bend over backward. I really wanted you to have the best meal possible. I thought it was like awesome. You're out for dinner. Anyway, I loved it. I really enjoyed being a server. I loved making it special for someone. If there was even the smallest way I could make it special for someone, I would. The one restaurant we walk by, there's literally there's an outdoor patio, and they even have an extended space onto the road. And I swear it's like 30 tables and only 2 tables are seated. So there's like 28 empty tables outside. They also have indoor seating and seating upstairs, but there's like 30 empty tables outside. And so we go to like the patio, and then we see a sign that says you have to walk around to the door. So we're like, okay. And my friend actually said, he said, I hate when it's like a video game. I hate when the restaurant's like a video game. And it's so true. It's like sometimes you go to a restaurant and there's like blocks in front of you. It almost feels like you have to like unlock the door. Right? Like, or when you get in the bathroom, it's like you have to unlock the door. It's like, oh, you haven't leveled up to that level yet. Like you can't access it. You have to like charm the witch to get access to the front. Anyway, so we have to walk all the way around. We get to the front. I see like 4 people outside smoking, no big deal, whatever. And I go inside and I talk to the hostess. I say, oh, hi, we'd love to get a table for 2. She's like, oh yeah, do you have a reservation? I'm like, no. So she's like typing it in, and all of a sudden this like grown 50-year-old man like yells at me. He's like, so all of a sudden this like grown 50-year-old man like comes out of nowhere. He's like, excuse me, but there's a line. And I didn't see the line. Honestly, it looked like 4 people, and that's what I was like, oh, it just looked like 4 people outside smoking, sorry. And so like, obviously I'm polite, so I was like, no problem. So I go to wait in the line, and the issue is like, that's fine. You actually don't have to be rude. You could just say, oh, pardon me, but there's just a line. There's a few guests waiting in front of you if you don't mind waiting back there. Like there's so many more polite ways to communicate this, and you're in a service industry. So that actually is your role, is actually to make it a pleasurable experience for your guests. Whatever, we go and wait in line for a minute. The two people in front of us go in, we're waiting there. And then this dude, he's like, oh, do you have a reservation? Like he was rude. And we're like, oh no, there's like tables. I was like, oh no, I just wanted to sit outside. I saw you have like a lot of available tables. He's like, well, actually you really need a reservation. Those are reserved. It's like, I'll see what we can do. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like I worked in the service industry. You're telling me that like 28 tables are being filled in the next hour? That actually doesn't really make sense. And they had like an indoor seating and upstairs seating. Anyway, it was just, he was so rude. I actually just grabbed my phone. I was like, never mind. I'm like, I'm not interested. I'm really not interested. And then anyway, then we went over to the place next door, and they were really nice. The hostess was great. She was also, I think, our server and our hostess. Maybe they were really busy. I don't know. So they were really nice for the most part. The service was so-so, but they were like really nice. They tried their best, but They didn't serve straws, and I think I'll get into that in a minute because I had another issue just about my service experience as of late, even prior to COVID. And it's really, I find it's only in certain restaurants and it's only in certain districts. Like I always, okay, I'll get into it. I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so the next restaurant, so the restaurant I go to with my friend for dinner. Okay, whatever. First of all, they sit us at like I made a reservation. They sit us at like the tiniest table they could find. And the weirdest thing is they had other bigger tables available. So I almost feel like they were just trying to mess with us a bit. Like, I don't know what it was. I think my outfit looked really cool. Maybe it was too cool. Maybe it was like throwing people off. I don't know. Okay, anyway, so the next restaurant we go to. So they sit us at this tiny, tiny table when they have lots of tables available, which was weird. Like I went to the bathroom as soon as we arrived and my friend's sitting at the table and like her legs don't fit. She's very tall. So that was weird. And then I was like, oh, do you think that do you have any other tables available? And the hostess right away was like, oh, or not the hostess. Maybe she was the hostess. She was like the assistant server, if that makes sense. Like she took the water order. I'm not exactly sure what her role would be. But anyway, she was really nice. She's like, oh, sure. She like right away sat us at this bigger table. And they were like closing the kitchen in an hour. It's not like they were sitting somewhere there, whatever. They had tables available. They just sat us at a bad table. I don't know why. Maybe it was easier because then it's like one section and they want to give that server the table. I don't know what the reasoning was behind it, but it was kind of rude. And I don't think any reason actually validates it, because if you have tables available and like, as I sat there, it's not like other people were being seated and there weren't enough tables. It's like we sat there, we got there, our reservation was at 9:30 and the kitchen closed at 11. They weren't sitting other people. So I don't know why they set us at such a tiny, like, I'm not kidding you. It's not even just a 2-person table. It was like a 1-person table. It was like one leg fit in the table. So that was weird. And then they really weirded me out. It weirds me out when restaurants don't use straws, okay? It's weird. I actually don't think that you care about the environment, because I know you waste food. I know you throw out tons of food in the back. And I think that it's like very much virtue signaling. Like the restaurant will look like they're making some grand gesture by getting rid of straws, but it's actually so stupid on so many levels, because one, you could use a metal straw. They have straws made out of straw, which are completely biodegradable, because straw is literally like, I don't know what you even call what straw is, but it's like a plant. So you can have straws made out of straw, straws made out of metal, straws made out of glass, straws made out of bamboo. There's like biodegradable plastic, which I've heard is not the best. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Or straws made out of shellfish. Like there's so many biodegradable and sustainable straw choices. And like, yeah, you could do paper straws. They're gross and they're actually the worst straws out of all of these. And again, it's all virtue signaling. It's like, out of all of the straw choices you could choose, you chose none. So you literally didn't care about your guest. And you also, people who have a disability need a straw. I mean, yeah, they probably at this point just carry their own, also with COVID and stuff, but it's actually just rude. And I've actually have not been to many restaurants that don't provide straws, so it's actually kind of weird that these two restaurants both didn't. And I think it was actually just a rude restaurant overall. I don't think they cared about their customers at all, because then we also ordered a pasta to share and they said that they don't split it in 2 dishes, which is actually kind of rude. My friend's like, oh, well, it's like COVID. Like, yeah, we're out dining together, but like it's COVID. Like you can't take the extra 1 second and like you can't use 1 extra plate and separate it. It just seems very rude. So I don't go to this restaurant often. I haven't been in like 3 years, and I didn't enjoy it like 3 years ago. I enjoyed it like 5 years ago. So it's kind of like a lame tourist spot at this point, in my opinion. And yeah, so I probably won't ever go back there. And they're also rude at the end. Like they honestly just were like all bothered. Anyway, okay, that's my rant.
Hello, Joey. Hello, Joey. Hello. Hello, Joey.
So when it's that, she knows to walk away when it's like a camera or a phone.
Famous Instagram model Zoe. Oh, Zoe, are you a model?